Sarájanée and Annacrizelda, and this is Everything and No Less, the podcast where your favorite long-distance besties talk about everything from women's sports to Marvel movies, things we love, things we hate, everything in between. We're glad you're here.
This week, we are talking about our big feelings about taking the pod public. Then, we are talking about the mirror fallacy and autoscopic phenomenon and what it's like to be looking at ourselves all day, every day. Then we are talking about the things that we both hate strongly that have bound us together. And we end it all with our favorite recurring segment, This Week in Women's Sports. Thanks for listening.
Hey, friend.
Hey, how you doing?
I am making it. I'm here. Glad to see you. How about you?
Good. I am good. I'm feeling a lot of feelings since today, not 10 minutes ago, we finally took the pod public.
That's kind of wild. By the time this episode is out, the pod will be fully public, posted on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Who knows, / maybe realistically nobody will see or care, but it feels major. I'm proud of us. It
feels major. I mean, we've been posting on the pod's account, but we have not yet linked it to our personal accounts outside of a few close friends. So now it's out there in the world.
Yeah. So if you send me something on Instagram and I am not responding this week, one, you're probably used to it because we know I'm on and off Instagram frequently, but I'm may very well just not ever look at Instagram again. So
never
don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. Just, I think I might throw my whole phone away.
Don't need it. Delete the app.
Delete the app. The whole thing. I'm going to get that. Have you heard of this phone? It's called the light phone, and it's basically has the functionality of a flip phone, but it's a touchscreen. It's for people who are addicted to their phone. Mm-hmm. And it's it just has messages, maps, and the phone function. But it's $600. So
why is it so expensive?
Can you believe that? I think maybe because it's still a smartphone and it's hardware. Mm-hmm. It's just limiting in what it the options that it presents to you.
Capitalism. I'm curious about it though.
Yeah, I know. There's ways to I went down a very deep rabbit hole of this. There's ways to make your phone appear like the light phone. Mm-hmm. But they are all very involved and involve a lot more patience than I'm currently. Anyway, I think it's easier to just throw the whole phone away. You might see me with a flip phone.
Maybe anything can happen. I will say I tried out the app you recommended in a recent episode, Screens In. Really like it. It's definitely helping with my screen control as well. And I made my message relax your shoulders. And I'm like, oh yes, okay, I need to do that. Whether or not I'm proceeding on this app, it's helpful. Check in with your body.
It's very helpful. It's it's the shoulders and it's the jaw. I hold a lot of tension in my jaw.
Yes, tongue at the top of my mouth for no reason.
No reason.
Take a deep breath. Why are we shallow breathing?
Why?
Nothing is happening.
Just breathe in.
Relax your shoulders, release your jaw, take a deep breath.
It's such a good reminder. It's so good. Everybody check it out. Screens In. Get your screen time under control.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's been a lot of stuff happening for both of us personally in the world. Always something new. But is there anything you've been stuck on or just that's been, you've been mulling over for an extended period now?
Yeah. So I saw on this podcast, there was this this woman was responding to this viral video, and it's this woman. I'll link the video and I'll put it into our video podcast for our video watchers. She talks about how you, as a human, were never meant to see your face as much as modern humans see their face.
I used to think I was really ugly, and then I understood the whole we were never meant to see our own faces theory, and it just changed the way I see myself. This is my understanding of it. Humans were never supposed to see their faces this much, and that's exactly why so many of us struggle with self-image. This is fact. This is truth. For most of history, the only reflection we ever saw of ourselves was in water. And even then, it was kind of blurry. It wasn't very clear. You couldn't see your imperfections. And here's what's even crazier. We could see everyone else. but we could never compare because we never knew what we really look like. But then mirrors got invented and people could see themselves every day. And then photos came out, and then videos, and now social media. We see millions of faces, and they're edited, they're filtered, and that's when we start comparing. We start finding flaws in ourselves that we weren't even supposed to ever notice.
Right, like people who are on Zoom, we're making content, we're looking at selfies. And I feel like it's a phenomenon even of like the past 10 years. It's really escalated exponentially. Like we are looking, as I say this, I'm like looking at my own face. And it's like, if you think about it, you know, I feel like I didn't look at myself or see images of myself this much, certainly as a child, but like as a teenager, the images were like kind of grainy on my digital camera. You know, like you never really were exposed to this amount of high definition media of your face. And so in the podcast, they were talking about this doctor named it autoscopic phenomenon, right? Where it's like culturally we are seeing ourselves more than ever. And paired with this idea that like as humans we evolve to be very perceptive to changes in people's faces that we were perceiving, right? Because like when we were evolving, we were very attuned to whether or not we were being accepted by the group, because to be separated from the group was to die, right? Like humans couldn't live outside of communities. And so fast forward to today, like we still have that in our brains where we're very attuned to the minor changes in people's facial expressions, right? Like, is this person rejecting me? Do they find me funny? Are they affirming? Do they hate me, right? Like, how often have you seen someone with a neutral facial expression? You're like, oh my God, they hate me. They hate me. You probably see that a lot, like as a facilitator, you're like, why do they hate me so much? Or I don't know if you think that, but it's like you're very attuned to it. And it's this idea that like because we're so attuned to it evolutionarily, when we started seeing our face more, we started being super attuned to our own faces and super hypercritical of the way that we look and the way that we express ourselves. And it's just led to a lot of like people being really critical of themselves, you know?
I can imagine, yeah, totally. I can imagine that as you were describing the theories. I guess I was thinking about Zoom has that option that's like make yourself look better, and how just like one, why is that a thing, right? Of course I have it turned on. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm like, sure, why not? Who knows what kind of day I'm having? But what does that do if we're looking, for example, in a Zoom, and you're like, oh, okay, lighting's good, feeling good today, and then you go later, look in the mirror, and you're like, wait, this is not the same me. It just creates even more space for, like you said, self-criticism and just hyper awareness and focus on ourselves. And I wonder how that impacts our interactions and relationships with others, even maybe not from like a criticism standpoint, but the feeling of like, oh, my face has to be on and I need to communicate affirmation, or I need to communicate attentiveness in a particular kind of way, when otherwise we could just be like, that's a lot of brain power going into what our face is doing or what is happening with our face. And I just wonder how else we might be using that capacity.
1,000%, right? Like, and I think it's also interesting if you think about the context of social media. Like you mentioned, like the face fixing filter. Like we are constantly seeing faces on social media that have been airbrushed or photoshopped, or, you know, especially like with body image, right? We're seeing bodies that have been altered and that actually don't exist in the real world. And so we're comparing our real world selves to this airbrushed image of what like actually doesn't exist.
That's so interesting. And it just also makes me think about, you know, authenticity, of course, but privacy. People should mostly be able to do what they want to do with their bodies, right? If you're not hurting somebody else, cool, go for it. However, what happens when you're selling something related to your body? I think this happens a lot in like fitness culture or fitness influencer culture, right? I remember a friend of both of ours, really, where she was like, there was a fitness influencer and she was, you know, a fan of their workouts and kind of how they were framing their fitness journey. And, you know, just looking, I was like, I don't know if that was, you know, created in a gym or a response, a reflection of like the natural work that they were kind of describing, like exercise. Turned out later that person had come out and said, oh yeah, I had these like surgeries, this operation. Fine, cool. But because they were initially more private in that journey. I'm like, that creates a false dynamic of what's possible, right? Like, oh, if you do these workouts that I do, you'll have this outcome. First of all, we know that's not true. All of our bodies are different, but I'm like, that's a little dangerous. That's an unfair expectation, probably for what you're offering and for what we're receiving, or folks might be receiving, or just, setting themselves up for. Yeah. It's like flawed, limited, potentially dangerous, right?
It's wild out there. And I do think that there are not enough spaces where people are actually like themselves and authentic. Everything is just everything is put through a filter, you know? And to return briefly to our first point, I think that's something that I really appreciate about our podcast, is that I feel like it's very authentic. Obviously, I edit out things that I say that I think are stupid, but
no, you tell me I'm gonna get us canceled, and I'm just kidding.
I would never allow that to happen. But I think that, this is a space for authenticity and joy that we are just putting out into the world, and I think that feels scary because, obviously I follow podcasts, and I'm always comparing, like, oh, their production value is so much higher. Like, oh, their sound is so much better. Oh, their points are so much better. And so I think that if you're here, we love you and we thank you, and we hope that you are enjoying our little space of authenticity and joy.
For sure. And what that reminds me is that, like, everything isn't for everybody. And I know you hear me say that probably daily at this point.
It runs in my head.
But that's okay. But it gives my permission to be like, no, I don't want to watch that show with you. Like, this just isn't for me, or I don't want to do that thing. And that's okay. And I hope that, or I think something I've leaned into as we've made this podcast is just like, it's okay if it's not for everybody. I actually don't want us to be for everybody. We don't have capacity to please you all, don't have interest. Hopefully it's good for some folks and they can, take some things, engage with things, give us ideas back and whatnot. But yeah, the point, to connect it to the point you're making about mirror fallacies, I feel like it makes us want to be pleasing and receive positive feedback from ourselves and a wider audience than ever, when it's like, that was never the point. That was never possible. That's not a real human thing, right? Everything isn't for everyone, and it shouldn't be. And there are certainly folks out here in this world that I do not want to be for. I won't get specific because Anna will just edit it out. But there are some archetypes, and I'm like, no, I am not for you. Do not come around here.
Don't come here.
I hope you don't feel seen.
You're not seen.
Your ideas are not affirmed.
No. You're not safe
Some
here.
of y'all. Exactly.
Go.
Exactly.
Oh, it's such a good point. It's such a good point.
That's merch we didn't come back to. We still need more feedback on if people want merch. But I think everything ain't for everybody. Is for sure.
Yes.
On a t-shirt, on a bookmark.
I actually really want it on the shirt that you have now. Like, I think if we did a play on the Everyone Watches Women's Sports shirt and it says everything ain't for everybody, so good.
100%.
So good.
Right.
Maybe we'll get copyright infringement, but I'll look into it.
Sounds great.
I need the name of the font, and then I think we're good. But that would be an incredible shirt.
Also, wouldn't it be a cool collab to have, like, with Together Sports? Like,
Together
everyone
Sports,
watches women's sports.
Call us.
Call us. Because we understand they're trying to create an inclusive platform, but we're learning from the growth of women's sports. Like, actually, we don't need some of y'all here. So there's a small version. Everything ain't for everybody. This is not for you, okay?
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
Right. Right.
No, we do. We definitely need that shirt. It's very good.
Stay tuned. More soon.
More soon. Speaking about how everything isn't for everybody, Sarájanée, I saw an Instagram post that I thought was quite true. It rang quite true for me, and it talked about how there's a study that shows the strongest friendships come from hating the same people and things. How do you study that? What do you think the scientific method that they employ is for that?
I wonder, is it new friends? Like, how quickly people form friends? And is it over not liking the same things? Or did they talk to a bunch of established friendships, people in established friendships, and be like, tell us about some of the things you have in common. And people are imagining that it's all of the things that they that they share affection or appreciation for, but it's actually the inverse, right? Like, well, actually, you both named that you hate pulled meat. That's not true for us, but one day somebody out there,
someone out there.
That's very funny. I would love to see that study.
I know, right? I mean, I'm sure that probably what they did. I feel like these psychological studies are so funny because, like, you can't obviously tell people what you're measuring because, like, then it affects the way that they, like, show up. So I'm sure that it was just probably, like, a group of people and they put, like, something in the room that, like, they knew would cause a strong reaction. And then they saw whether people made alliances with other people. And how strong those alliances were.
Did they then, like, subsequently agree on other things after?
Yeah.
I agree. I can see that, right? Like, someone shares your opinion, and then on a completely unrelated topic that comes up next, you're like, well, let me hear from them, right? Let me see what they think. Let me give them a little space.
1,000%. I think in another life, I would have liked to be like a psychology researcher where I could put humans through these like wild trials. Like, I have a hypothesis about how people are going to make friends. Because people do this. Did you know?
It's true. Did you know going into college, I wanted to be a psychology major? Have I told you that?
Oh, I didn't know that. I feel like that makes sense.
I wanted to do sports psychology. Still have interest in it, but took Psych 101. Didn't know not to take that first year. I didn't understand at the time. You're not supposed to start there. And I was like, this is very hard. This is very hard. There's a lot of science. I was living on a prayer. Word to UVA.
Oh, my God.
University anthem. Word to UVA, not in a good way. But anyways, sports psychology.
Yeah, I think that in a parallel universe, I can definitely, in this universe, I can see you doing that. Just as a small aside, I also took a class I was not supposed to take first semester, first year, and it was philosophy 3050. That is a class for seniors.
Just in there like, what is going on? My brain is not nearly formed enough to have this conversation. I do not have the college skills yet.
I don't even think the seniors in that course had the brain development, the frontal lobe development, you know? And it was such a weird class. It was all seniors. And the professor's name, he was like one of those like guest professors. Okay. I swear to you this is true, even though it sounds not true. His name was Johnny Tsunami. Okay. That was his name. And he compared everything philosophy to surfing, which you would think would like make it more interesting and clear, but no. It was all just muddled surfing metaphors. Anyway.
Yeah, at some point you would need some understanding of surfing techniques, how surfing works, maybe the experience of being on a surfboard, on a wave, learning to surf or something, right? Like,
I'm like, what does this have to do with Kant? Hello?
I don't get it. Send help, please.
Send help. Oh.
Okay, but thinking about what people bonding over things that they hate, what are some of the things that we both hate? What comes to mind for you?
Extreme weather. Extreme weather. No.
Be serious.
Be serious, okay? We can be neither too hot nor too cold.
No. There's a very small window.
So small. And unfortunately, we live in places where we are often subject to extreme temperatures.
Yes.
So
places and a time when like they're just more extremes than ever, apparently.
Yes.
I was watching the show Paradise that you told me about, and spoiler alert ahead, but there's some climate change related stuff there, and obviously it's TV, so it's made up. But I was like, listen, the images that they put up there, I am not built for it. I am not going to do well.
Like, Paradise is so good. It's like, for the first 6 episodes, it's kind of light. You're like, oh, he died. This is fine, right? You kind of think, and then episode 7 hits, and you were like, I can't live through climate change. I must die.
I'm not. Because if it's getting bigger, it's going to be more extreme than what we experienced in the last year or two. Baby, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Because my ability to function and think about anything else it's severely diminished in extreme weather events, right? I'm not up here in Chicago, there are people that are like, oh, it's below 10. I'm going to go whatever, read, write. And I'm like, no. All I can do is try to stay warm.
You
Don't
said
try to have a serious conversation.
Right.
Are you kidding? You want to go out and be, doing some event? Are you kidding? No. I'm back to the basics, okay? I have to be fed, hydrated, and warm. Okay.
Yeah, that reminds me of the winters I spent in New England and like how people were people I went to school with were New England born and bred. Okay? Mm-hmm. They're like, I'm gonna live my whole life here with these winters. They're not so bad. And meanwhile, I am descending into madness because it's so cold. The kind of cold, I mean, I'm sure you know this and have felt this. It's like you need 2 jackets. One does not suffice.
And then people don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, how are y'all being social? And we're not going to talk about the reality of all that it took for us to get to this shared place. I can't. We've had this harrowing journey. And y'all want to talk about whatever's on the TV or whatever restaurant we're at. Like, no, I should just stay home.
It's so real, though, because it's like you meet your friend at the bar after it's like negative degrees outside. They're like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm actually almost dead. Like, I'm near frozen.
I'm not well.
I'm
already ready to go home, but I can't because I can't go back out in the conditions yet. So it's all bad.
It's all bad.
Other things that I think we hate, critters. Do you remember, I think it's just been like 2 days that I sent you a voice memo, actually. It was like, please go look at this horrible thing I sent you on Instagram where this woman apparently ordered a rug and opened it up and there were mice inside. I screamed out loud, had an actual physical response. My partner came running like, are you okay? And I was like, physically, I'm safe. Emotionally, I'm not, because the thought of that is awful. I think we both hate critters.
Harrowing. I think a mouse is hard because I feel like a bug you can squish. Sorry for people who take the bug outside. I do not do that. I'm far too frightened to do that. Far too frightened. But like a mouse is like an animal. Like how do you...
Fast. It could jump on you.
It's a warm-blooded creature. Like I can't deal. There was, I don't know if I should tell you the story because you're moving soon, but like when we moved cross country, like from Connecticut to LA, we opened one of our boxes and there was just like dead roaches inside.
Oh no.
And that was really upsetting to me. So
absolutely. I told Aiden, I was like, so after watching this video, we now need to thoroughly examine the moving truck. And he was like, why? Because something can get inside. And I was like, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Having used movers before, I don't know why I didn't think of this possibility, but now it's in my mind. But yes, I think that is, our aversion to critters bonds us, right? I don't have to worry that we're going to go somewhere and you're going to be like, hey, come check out my pet ferret.
Do you want to hold this tarantula?
No. Like, you might laugh at my response to when squirrels get too close to me or if I see a street rat, but I know you're going to understand. You're not going to be like, oh, Sarájanée, let's go feed it.
No.
Helpful.
I can't even walk near a pigeon on the streets. I can't, listen, if there isn't a pigeon on the street, I cast my husband between me and the pigeon.
You go first.
And I'm like, you must protect me.
Absolutely.
I can't, I literally can't.
I'm the person that will be like ducking, like it's their sidewalk, it's their territory. I don't want them near me. Some people, when they take off flying near you, they just keep walking. I will stop and contort my body to make sure that there's maximum distance away from a pigeon. I understand.
I'm sure you deal with them all the time living in the city. It's too much. Have you ever seen a pelican?
I think so. I feel like when I was living in Miami, probably.
Pelicans are like... Okay, I'm gonna estimate, and I can't estimate as just like a thing I can't do, so I'm gonna sound really silly. But they have to be between like 70 and 80 pounds. Like they are huge. Like my entire head could fit in the little pouch under their beak. It's a dinosaur. It's not a critter, okay? We must respect the pelican. It is a beast that has barely evolved from a dinosaur. I saw them one time when I was in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I was like, that thing is so scary. It's like a pterodactyl.
I get it. Fast, can fly, it's over for you. If it sets its eyes on you, it's done. What are you going to do about it? Run?
Literally,
No.
You can't.
Try to protect your face?
No. Respect nature.
That's it, right.
Oh my gosh. Another thing I think that we both hate. I actually think this is one of the things that bonded us together in college. People doing too much.
Yes.
People doing too much. Hence one of this podcast's iconic sayings, do less.
Do less.
Do less.
Talking too much, wanting too much, like asking too much, like all of it. People
Taking
doing
up
too
much space.
Whew, there's that one.
It's too much. Too much volume. Too much.
You are not for us. Those are the people that are not for us. We wish you well.
We wish you
well and away from us.
Why are you doing so much?
Why?
It's too much.
Take a deep breath. Again, take a deep breath and do less.
A deep breath. Oh my God.
That also, I feel like that's when chaos ensues, and that's something that we also hate. Lack of information, right? Lack of details, just things going fly by night. Really love for people who can do that. That's not for us, though.
It's not for us. It's like that video I sent you, and it's like, I'm great. I can go with the flow. Just like, what time does the flow start? And also, like, what time is it over? And what should I wear? And where are we going?
What's the temperature going to be? What do I need? Who all's going to be there?
Who's going to be there?
Little details. Those are just the basics that we need. And if you don't know, say you don't know. Let me know when you'll find out, or let me know that you have no intention of finding out.
And then let me do it. Let me plan it.
Let me do it, or let me remove myself when you say, you know what, this isn't something I can do at this time. I can't be there.
I think we're just going to see where the night takes us. No.
I know where it's going to take me, to
Home.
the bed in my house. As quickly as possible.
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Back-to-back events, like, I think that is a struggle for us. In particular, if there's drinking involved, like a day-to-night event, to be young, can't do it. That's too much. Back-to-back nights, that's a marathon. We've previously established. It's probably not for us.
It's probably not
Gonna be
for us.
tired.
It's probably not for us. You know, I'm going to Vegas soon, like in a month, and we're going with some friends, some of my husband's friends. They are lovely. I want them to know that if they're listening to this podcast, they are lovely. But the way that the plans are being made in the group chat is stressing me out, okay? Okay, the first event of the day. So we have to make it to Beyonce at night. That is the reason we are in Vegas, okay?
And you know she's giving a marathon show, like 2-3 hours. You were in there.
2-3 hours, okay? I have to get ready. I have to put on the fit. I have to do the makeup, all of it, okay? I have to walk in boots, cowboy boots that I'm hopefully going to break in if they get here in time. But that's already a huge ask, okay? The events that have been proposed the day of Beyonce, okay? Boozy brunch, a show at the Sphere, drinks and dinner. Now, Sarájanée, on any given day, I can do one of those events. What am I gonna do? That's so many events.
I had to lean back because the amount of stimulation. Like 2 shows? What are you guys doing? Your brains aren't going to be able to process it.
Okay, to be fair, the first show is only 15 minutes, but it's like, okay, apparently it's like at the Sphere, and it's like one of those things where like your chair shakes and they like spray you with water. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So you're going to need recovery time. I get it. It's beautiful to want to see and do the things, but when is the nap? Like, what? More events need to be nap time, reading time.
I need 24 hours between 2 of those events. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I don't hear any naps on the schedule. There are no quiet meals.
Quiet meals. I love a quiet meal.
You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be great. You're going to be great. And you're going to be very tired. That's so ambitious.
It's ambitious. It's ambitious. It's ambitious in a way that I thought I had left in the past.
Maybe the flow will be that you all can change your minds. Maybe that'll emerge.
That's true.
The option to choose and say, hey, we thought this was great a month or 2 out. Now that we're here, maybe we need a nap.
Maybe we need a nap.
You know, I love to be the person that's like, hey, how's everybody doing? This might be annoying, but I'm just checking in again. We're still feeling good. We can always go sit down. Sometimes somebody's just got to create the space. Remind everybody.
Right.
We have choice. We don't have to do anything.
Because I know that Beyonce is a standing concert. People don't sit during Beyonce. They sit maybe like 5% of the concert.
Yeah.
It's a standing
You're gonna
concert.
be up.
Yeah.
You're going to be up.
And I have to prepare for that. I don't think I've stood. The last time I stood for that long was the other Beyonce concert I went to, Renaissance.
And you're going to want to. Like, the energy is up. Other people are around, but you're, like, watching Beyonce be incredible. Your body is going to be compelled to stand up. So you just want her to be nice and rested.
Exactly.
Having all the energy. For sure.
All of the energy.
Are there other things we hate?
Oh, there's so many things we hate.
We could probably skim our... Having to set up a doctor's appointment. I think that's probably like a lot of people.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. You know, I have this dentist. And listen, I haven't had a cavity ever in my life until maybe 2 years ago. Okay? Very traumatic having cavities. And my dental hygiene has never been better. Like, I floss, I tongue scrape, I like do all the things. And so to me it's suspicious. See? Do you see that? To me it's suspicious that I would be getting cavities at this large age for the first time.
I've wondered the same. Is it because we're older and this is just a natural progress? But also, it feels like there's a weird choice when I go to the dentist and they're like, oh, we see a cavity. Do you want to fill it? And I'm like, well, don't I need to? Why are you asking me? Is it there or is it not?
So there is this comedian who talks about this and he says, why does the dentist show me my x-ray? And they're like, do you see it?
This is what dentists do. They take an x-ray of your mouth. You can't even tell what's in the x-ray. They know you can't tell. They still consult you. Like, suddenly you are the senior dentist. My dentist, he put the x-ray in front of me. He's like, can you see this over here? Oh, nothing I could see. Nothing. I didn't know those are my teeth. He could have said it's your luggage x-ray from the airport. We found a tooth in it. I would have believed it. You know, when your eyes don't even know what plane to focus on. Like, I was seeing through the x-ray. There was another dentist working on the other side. I was clueless. I want to forget dental checkup. I need an eye checkup. But there's too much pressure in that situation. The dentist is staring at me. He has an assistant waiting. You know, assistant has a suction in his hand. He's waiting to stick it in you. Hopefully your mouth. That pressure, I was like, oh yeah. It's a bad one. Take it. I said, take it. I learned something about myself that day. I learned I'm ready to give up a tooth to look intelligent. That's how stupid I am.
Sir, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's this fallacy where they're trying to make it seem like you yourself are identifying the cavity. And I feel that this is a scam. I feel this is farce. I feel that they are trying to bill the insurance for this cavity that doesn't exist.
Like, when they're getting in there with the drills to repair a cavity, how do we know that they're not just creating the hole right then and there?
You think it's like performance art?
It could be. could be. The point is that we have no way of knowing unless you go in with a pre-existing, you're having pain in that tooth and then now it's gone, right? Like if it's just what they say and what they show you that you're supposed to read. Like, oh, you see that spot? I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's really there.
Sir, I went to law school. I don't know how to read an x-ray. You could be showing me anybody's head right now.
Right.
I'm not able.
Also, show me the progression. If you're asking, are you asking like you can do it right now, or like, hey, your benefits reset in a month, you can come in then? Like, what's the urgency? I don't know.
What's the urgency?
The billing practices, they seem to change across insurers and across dental offices, and it's not necessarily geographic specific. Like, I've had insurances be like, oh, dentists can only charge so much for this procedure, and I'm like, according to who? Why are you telling me to tell them? That doesn't make sense.
You talk to them.
I'm a layperson.
Yeah, I'm a layperson. I am a civilian. Okay.
Just like there's some scam behavior going on. Something is going on.
If you're a dentist listening to the show, we would love to have you on and inquire. Come on the show.
Defend your profession. Give us some tips. What are questions we need to ask our dentist? How do we make sure we know what we're looking at?
I know. If I had a dentist friend, I would bring them with me. I'd be like, you watch this guy and you tell me.
Right.
You tell me
true.
if he's doing a good job.
Reading dental reviews are also kind of funny. Like if you're ever looking for... Never done that. Dental office. All reviews, of course, are subject and can get interesting, but that is where you see people that are the angriest. They're like, I went in for a toothache, came out, my tooth still hurts. They charged me $1,000, blah, blah, blah. And then, sometimes they'll be back and forth like, we're so sorry about your experience, but actually you had these issues. You didn't properly care for it. Who knows? But dental office reviews can be a very interesting section of the internet when you're just trying to find a good provider.
I love when I look at reviews and people leave a bad review and then the business comes back and argues with them. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I love that. I love it.
Me too. Especially if it was what appears to be an unruly restaurant patron, right? And the restaurant manager comes back and it's like, actually, your group showed up 30 minutes late. You brought 2 extra people. You all were super loud. You were rude to our server, but thanks. Come again. Okay. Enough said.
I'm not built for it. Listen, when we open our coffee and pastry shop, I will be in the comments and I will be fighting with people. That is going to be me. It's going to be me.
I will be right there +1 again, for sure.
You're going to make a burner account and you're going to be like, I actually went here and it was delightful.
I was there on this day and I just want to agree this particular guest behaved atrociously.
Oh my gosh.
They had their bare feet on the table and yes,
listen.
The hosts were right to kick them out.
Bare feet is too much. There's very few moments in life where you need to have your bare feet out, okay?
I don't care how casual you think the restaurant is. Just they don't need to be on a chair. They don't need to be on a table. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's too much. It's too much. I saw a man walking around our neighborhood in his bare feet the other day. And I just I didn't really have questions because I feel like I'm pretty, I can deduce perhaps what moved you to do that. I just think you shouldn't. It's more of a comment. I think you shouldn't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just do less. Right. Do less or just don't.
I think yes, that's the part too. Do less or don't.
Do less or don't.
Don't at all.
The front should say do less and the back should say or don't.
Or don't. Those are the actual choices that you have.
Pick one. Because what you're doing cannot stand.
Right. Can't do it.
Can't do it. What else has been on your mind?
What else? Life, the world, just trying to increase my hydration. This is a very hard pivot, but I was up around 90, 100 ounces and I increased that. It's been good. It's been consistent. I am, I guess, happy to report it's also improved some of my delayed onset muscle soreness after working out.
Wow.
Which is good, but it's also just like, wasn't I already drinking enough water? Now it's got to be even more, just not to be sore.
Listen, you and
I don't want to do it.
You and I have the same water bottle, so I know exactly how much water you're drinking.
It's a lot.
And in what fashion. And it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to drink 4. So 128 ounces is 4 of our water bottles. That's a lot. Like, it's not a small water bottle.
No.
It's labor in itself.
Like, I'm glad it's working. Right. I'm glad it's working. Just increasing hydration during the summer. That feels like a very responsible fix for what the soreness I was feeling. However, it's also just like, couldn't there be another way? I don't want it to all be on me, but it is.
But it is.
I keep thinking about that, probably because my water bottle is in my line of sight right now, and I'm like, I think I'm on 2 for the day. Got 2 more to go. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I do 2 before lunch, and then so I don't go to 128 typically. I go to, 96 or whatever the third one is. So I'll do 3, but then I'll drink a whole water bottle's worth at the gym if I go. So
right.
4 days a week, I'm at a gallon.
Right.
It's a lot.
It's usually where I'm hovering. It's a lot. And I'm just like, I can do it for a little while, but I don't know if it's sustainable forever. Right? Like, not every single day. Like you're saying, of course, a few days, especially when there's more output, I can push it up over 100. But I need the 93, 96 that I was getting. Like, that's got to be sufficient overall.
To be sufficient. Maybe it is us making up for the fact that we did not drink water for 25 years.
Maybe our bodies are like, this could change at any moment. She could go back to those old ways. Get all the water that you can now, all the benefits, store it. Like, maybe if we really show her how much better it is, she'll maintain this.
It's so true. Like, I don't think I drank water outside of a meal for 25 years.
I had water bottles outside of when I was playing sports in high school. I don't remember refilling it multiple times during the day. And so I'm just like, was the water being I don't know what was happening.
Do you think we just weren't thirsty?
Maybe.
We must have been thirsty.
Had to be. There was a lot of stuff going on
there
too.
Was a lot.
Had to be.
It blows my mind. You see on social media, all the kids have their water bottles. I see kids walking to the bus stop here. They have water bottles, okay? And we were just out here making do with the little sips from the little...
At the water fountain?
I just need a little sip every now and then. And I'm good.
And schedule breaks. No wonder the people are not okay.
You remember we had to ask the teacher to go to the water fountain and you just get a little sip? You're dying of thirst. You're
be right back. The line after recess, everybody had 5 to 10 seconds? Not to mention the germs at water fountains, but let's just let that go and just focus on the hydration.
The kid who's sucking on it in the mouth. Were you that kid?
No,
you
absolutely not. No. I was I would let it run a little bit between the first time. No, that didn't really do anything, but in my mind I was like, it's different water. Let me clear it out.
That's smart. That's smart.
I would have to be I remember thinking about who I was in line behind. I might have to let somebody go in between us if it was somebody that was real nasty. Trying to be strategic. Okay, that's a cleaner kid. They keep it. I can drink water after them if I must.
If I must. And I must.
Right. That's so funny. Any other thoughts, or you want to move into one of our recurring segments?
Let's move. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, well, I'm wearing the Everyone Watches Women's Sports tee. We're going to run up some women's sports news again, because if you listened before, you remember that in one of my crash outs, about all the media coverage on the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, I was like, what's going on with DeWanna Bonner? All-star, legendary career. She wasn't playing. That's what I want to know about. What is her role with this team, etc. And we've now learned she's ultimately been waived by Indiana. She wasn't playing for the last week or so. She wanted out. She was like, this is not a good fit. It's not working. And I'm glad that she's getting away from the Tres Leches, who apparently have, are going all in on this moniker. But yeah, I'm glad to know Dewana Bonner is getting out. Very curious to see where she'll land. She's going to be back with her wife in Phoenix, Alyssa Thomas, on the Mercury. She's going to end up in Atlanta. I even heard some rumors that like the New York Liberty have cap space.
What?
Joining New York when they're, still in championship form would be really, really interesting. I don't know if that, if she gets to play more minutes, but New York adding another weapon is just like, whoa, what's happening? That could be very scary. Part of me wonders if she might end up like on the Aces, right? Like they still have a lot of talent, but they haven't, and I don't know that they have the cap space or the roster spot, but I just wonder if they like could make a move to make it happen since they need a little boost or something.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Go ahead. I think my team, the Washington Mystics, also has space, but as much as I love Dewana, we got a good young core. We're not going to be probably winning soon enough. I'm like, let's just work with what we got. But I'll be very curious to see what happens with Dewana, and I want her to get signed in like enough distance from Indiana that she can tell us like what was happening, what was behind her rationale. I want the tea. I want the behind the scenes like unfiltered view.
I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it sooner rather than later. Your team also very, very good this season.
Yeah, they definitely have some up and down moments where you can see the youth and you're like, what is happening? This is not the same team that played yesterday. But when the, what is it saying? When all of the cylinders are clicking or something, the wheels are turning, they can look really good. And it's very exciting. It's much more enjoyable this season versus last year when they started 0-12.
Recently, they beat the Aces, right?
Yeah.
Last night?
And they were it was a pretty commanding game. The Aces made a big run in the fourth quarter, and I was like, we're going to see what's going to happen. But they kind of stayed calm. They stayed poised. Still found a way to win. I love that. Love that a whole lot.
So I saw on the internet that there was this like chart that showed Sophie Cunningham's increase in TikTok followers following that brawl with the Connecticut Sun a few weeks ago, which I think is a gross statistic to collect.
Yeah.
But apparently she gained in, I guess they like converted the number of followers to like amount of money that number of followers would be worth. And they said that she gained the equivalent of $1 million worth of TikTok followers from that brawl. And I just think, isn't that wild? I just think
that's shocking.
The incentive structure that you're now putting in for like unruliness, for like proximity to who is just like, it's so messed up.
It is, and we know it's not going to be equally distributed, right? Like, that's something that a blonde white woman could get away with. Like, you basically choke somebody out at the end of a game in defense of your teammate. Okay, let's like unpack that a little bit. And you're going to earn, and now you're earning more money. Like, that feels very dangerous, very risky.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
problematic.
Especially in the same, like, I think it was even in the same week when Dejanay was trying to talk to the ref and he, like, stood behind the security guard. It's like, clearly there is, like, messaging going on about who is, like, just loyal to their teammate and trying to defend their teammate and who is, like, dangerous, which is, like, a mess.
Exactly, right? I don't love that. It's just Lexi Hull is in a campaign for contention for an all-star spot, and I'm like, the delusions. Meanwhile, we got people talking about DEI, and I'm like, you can be a mediocre white woman, thin white woman who misses layups, it gets crossed up, and you get to be an all-star because somebody said you're cute and you're a good teammate.
That's DEI.
That's DEI. That's the real DEI.
That's the real DEI. Okay.
Please make it stop. I need a little more seriousness, or just doing a little less. Either way it goes.
People are doing too much.
Either way it goes. Quick spin. We already talked about the hard launch of Paige and AZ, but the subsequent content of the two of them just like being all out and open. And when I say out, obviously, sharing their relationship. I do love it. It's very cute.
Very cute.
Very fun. Big love for Paige Beckers.
Love for Paige Beckers. I wish my team, the Dallas Wings, were doing a little better.
I believe in them. Also, I think that they might have a tankathon going. I think that they're like, you know what's better than one number one pick? Two. So them trying to get another one and maybe have a little reuniting Paige and AZ after next year's draft, just, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't that be so cute?
It's worked for other teams in the league.
It has. And, you know, maybe DeWanna Bonner goes to the Mercury.
Could get interesting. Very, very interesting. Lots to see. We'll stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I think that is episode 16, Sarájanée.
Very exciting. We're rolling. I think we have to decide soon. Are we going to have like seasons or we're just going to keep going?
Season 1, episode 100.
I'm here for it. I think we have to do at least 20, even if we decide to separate seasons, just in support of long season content. Like no more 8-10 episodes of anything.
Yeah.
We're giving 20.
We're giving 20. I love that. And we're really close to 20. I think 20 is a good number. Let's do 20.
Okay.
Let's do 20.
I like it. Okay, that's a good plan. If you're new here, you came in after our, more public launch of the pod, we're glad you checked us out. We hope you'll stick around.
But if you don't, that's okay too.
Everything isn't for everybody.
It's not. But if you did like this podcast, share it with your long distance best friend. See you next week.
Bye.